after what seemed to be a really late summer start, we have a extended summer. This fall area is very warm, still very humid, raining a lot right now, and the wet season is coming. It's coming quickly, but it's a lot more warmer than it usually is 2 weeks into September.
Yeah, I mean, the midday temps are around mid 70s, which is pretty good for plants that are outdoors. I mean, especially the ones that we have here at the Durban. It's still holding up. Those tend to be like in the 80s, but mid 70s and high humidity is, I guess it's good enough. You know what I mean? The Durban's still looking nice and green.
Yeah, and there's no like bud rot yet build up too much. I think that really came and went away, and it wasn't like tending to them trim wise too much. We had to trim up. That was just on the mothers though. But other than that, we haven't really had any bud rot, and not that good. But all the nuts are really just fat. They're developing on the clones as we intended. The lollipopping is a foolproof plan, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, the way that those clones look, like the nug development is much, I guess, rapid compared to the mothers, like, in terms of them getting dense. Because those tops on the clones just look super thick. And
And they
it
stink.
ensures like crazy. Like the mothers, they have I guess you would say the nugs are longer
Yeah.
because there's more little points in between. But those clones, those tops are big, giant, thick nugs, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I think the clones are benefiting from being in like a golden ratio of height, where they're not too tall. I think those mothers are a little too tall. You can see them just not just at the top heavy, but they aren't as developed.
I
as
guess
we wanted
maybe
them to be.
too tall for that pot size.
Yeah,
If we had let them transition
In, like, a
into a
ground?
bigger, or
Or,
just open the bottom of the pot and just let it take into the ground, then maybe they could have just, I don't know, maybe just the amount of roots aren't able to support the nutrients needed.
that I just think there's also probably too many branches on them
True.
because we did not trim from minute one essentially.
Yeah, there is a lot of extra branches on branches instead of just allowing them to go straight up
Yeah,
the way that the clones are. Because the clones is just if that's the branch, that's basically.
and we have no branches almost low on those things. Like I said, we've been lollipopping them, making sure that all high get light.
I mean, that started from the minute we cut them, though. The minute we cut them, and about a week after, anything a foot down got cut.
Yeah.
And then every time they started getting taller, that foot became, all right, now it's about 2 feet high, and now it's about, I would say about 2.5 feet high from the ground surface where there's nothing there. And then you start to see the branches take up.
Yeah, and I think our first run with the mothers was pretty good because we learned, what we really have to do in order to contain them now, trim-wise, nutrient-wise, when to feed, when not to feed, how much water they need daily, and just how to maintain them to keep their color perfect. The other thing that we learned is, green crack, we wanted to keep that, we did. Keep that strain alive, and now we have 2 more, or maybe 1 more that we can do going into next season, where it's let's get another one going soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's really depending on how all the Durban matches up, but right now it's looking like a favorite, at least on my end. Because this week in the shed, this weekend I should say, they started to orange, and instead of just white pistils coming up, they started to see more color develop. So that strain Durban is looking like a very solid sativa choice to just hold on to also.
Yeah, I think Durban's something I want to reseed. I think the only issue with our batch this season was it was a little bit weak stem-wise. I think they were all kind of skinnier than we wanted them to be. And on top of that, far too susceptible to taking on powdery mildew.
For sure.
Where green crack and
still
it's super strong and immune to them. So it takes it on small traces, but you spray it off like that.
Yeah, for sure. And that might just be the environment. This is a heavy African dominant. We're in New York. We're not in Africa, so
the wrong hemisphere.
Yeah, so maybe that could be the reason why we have so many of the extra problems that we face on the, bi-weekly status.
Yeah.
Because we take care of it, and then it's cooling for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and then it's like you start to see a little bit come back.
Yeah, I think we didn't do a great job mimicking the what's it called, the climate and just uh, season change of Durban or just South Africa in general. So that's something we should look into, is just more of optimizing our indoor spaces, because outdoors you just gotta let them run.
Yeah.
But I mean, the ones that we do have outdoors
They're
are
looking
great.
nice.
They look really great. They smell terrific. So I think if you have a good outdoor spot, you can pretty much grow whatever you want as long as you treat it.
Yeah.
So we trim those clones every week. We keep healthy, medium-sized fans, and try to get all those small node points off. That way, just bat nugs are growing towards the tops of all branches, and that there aren't too many branches. That way, traffic isn't too dispersed. You want it to be kind of concentrated towards that middle stem.
For sure. I mean, the way that those clones are looking, it's more of a quality than a quantity on those.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's what you want to do. Every time you do things, you want to progress each time. So I mean, we took like last year we did cloning, but this year we took it to a completely different level in the cloning, where it's like, all right, we did everything the exact same way, no matter what. You know what I mean? So it's like we really found that consistency. So maybe next time just add maybe 2 or 3 more branches to each plant and let that grow out, just so that top canopy is a little more filled out.
Yeah.
But the way that, so that it looks exactly the same that it does this time go around.
Yeah, I think the canopy in the 3x3 is amazing, and just the evenness along that fence line is crazy.
Yeah, I took a video of the 3x3 this morning. It's looking real nice. All the top colas are at the same height, but then that inner spot, I guess it's like right under the light. Those branches aren't as tall, but that canopy down there in the middle is also even, and they're all getting a decent amount of light. So, yeah, the canopies that we hit this time trimming was definitely nice in all aspects.
Yeah, because you had one that was way older almost than the rest of the. Out of your 6, you had one
Yeah,
that was
Spike
about
Lee.
like 2 weeks older than the rest of the 5, and those 5 just evened out.
Yeah.
Rather than that one just kind of being, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it probably has something to do with we put the rest of them. Well, we put that one on the feeding schedule as the other 5.
Yeah.
When we feed, they all get fed the same time. We don't feed that one 2 weeks before because it's 2 weeks older. It kind of had to take a stall period to catch up. I mean, for the others to catch up. But yeah, they're all doing very well and very even. Honestly, if somebody probably wouldn't be able to tell that one is older than the others.
Now that's
maybe
what
because
season 1 should have looked
maybe
like.
because it's slightly taller, but yes, for sure, season 1 could have looked just like that.
I like when we designed that, I was like, "Yo, what are we gonna do with the 3x3?" And it was like, throw 6 5 gallons.
Let's try it again, but this time just go soil.
Soil, yeah, way simpler.
But my thought process the other day when I was trimming, I was like, maybe next time we go 4 in here, so that, like, with the clones out here, there's less branches, but more space for them to just really fatten up and for the branches themselves to thicken up and not just the nodes.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. I also, this season, I want to use the Iceman on the harvest. I think that'd be really cool. See what trichomes we get out of it.
For sure.
What type of buildup we get. I mean, I'm hoping that it doesn't just turn everything purple.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it also depends if the weather drops during the week that we're gonna, you know what I mean, cut them down. It's like, all right, wait, actually leave them outside for legit 48 hours, let them get cold, let's see what happens, you know what I mean? Because if you add water to it, it won't ice it out because it's not freezing. But if it's cold, just water them instead of just full icing them.
Yeah.
So that we don't completely kill our plants and freeze them to death.
Yeah. I mean,
well, but not freezing them isn't a bad thing. People do freeze their stuff, and we mentioned that in other Canning Cast episodes. But
well, yeah, that and so I was just gonna lay out. We're in week 39. We sprouted, I think, on the 18th of December last year, and like we said, we did the mothers, and we got all these clones going in like March through July, and we're looking at either harvesting on the 27th in week 41 or on the 4th, October 4th, in week 42. So, I mean, that's insane in itself.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Most
Okay.
people try to grow like quarterly. We went with the whole year, and we're like, let's see what we can do just with a year's time of just studying these sets of plants.
Yeah, and in that early progression in veg, we wanted to work on our cloning, and we saw a positive outcome of that so far. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that adding an extra few weeks to do some testings and trying things out, I'd say it was worth it.
Oh, definitely worth it. I mean, it's been a fun year. It's nice now that the flower's coming. And I think it definitely has motivated me, especially to be like, let's get flower every quarter.
Yeah.
Let's flower something every quarter now. Because now we understand at least green crack, and we'll have that alive for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And with 2 tents in the outdoor, we could always run them opposite. So, like you said, we always have buds.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe we'll figure out a way to start bonsaiing that. To bonsai them. That way we can make small mothers. That way we can use 2 big tents. That'd be pretty cool.
I like that move. And that's kind of one of the origins why we got the small tent, but then obviously you need them to sprout things. So it's like, oh, perfect. Yeah. We don't need to put those little seedlings inside of a big tent. We can just have them in there.
I think if anything, we should definitely get to the bottom of we should sprout. Because, I mean, I really want to do jungle again, but I kind of want to give it a break for like a year. And just like, let's pick that back up.
I want to try some Vermont.
I want to try that Fire OG.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be fun. Like Fire OG, I'd be down to re-go with Durban though. But I think if anything, we just pick one strain right now, get it up, run in, and be like, okay, we got a
favorite,
small little mother here.
But I mean, at Green Crack, it's a favorite amongst us and our friends. And we know our friends will enjoy this harvest.
Yeah.
When they come smoke it with us.
For sure.
So, I mean, that was a big part in deciding the strains, you know. Because a lot of strains these days are lemon cherry crosses, and we kind of went with like old school classic strains, but mixed with this jungle that we had in a bag that we grabbed a while ago. You know what I mean? We ran the seeds last year. Unfortunate things happened. We won't even mention that. But if you know, you know. So we obviously had to run it again to see if that was just a fluke or if those seeds were actually a thing, and they look good.
Oh, they look amazing, and I think they're gonna harvest great. But the issue is we're low on them. I think we have less than 5 left. So it's like the next time you sprout that,
you have to. I think
you have to mother it, and now you have to keep that forever.
I say,
and it has to be the one.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we do give it a season break, just a full grow season break. Run the green crack again as the mother. Run all the clones through the green crack. That way it's like, all right, we've just run one strain. Like everything is the same every feeding, nothing different additive. You know what I mean? Not switching the feeding process, because then if it's a full switch over to do next season, we still run one mother, just keep her up to life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But everything else is the jungle.
Yeah, I like that.
Because we did the green crack so well the year before, I think that could be a possibility and worthy of holding those 5 seeds for the longer run.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Because who knows what, you know what I mean, things get proposed to us in that next 2 years. You know, maybe somebody offers us a little corner somewhere, and we.
That's what I was thinking too. If we upgrade our spaces, obviously the knowledge will grow. So it'll give us more time. Where I'm thinking, like, eventually, if you have the space, and we have the space where it's like you can run. Let's say we have 4 seeds. You run all 4 seeds. Let them. You run all of them as mothers, and then you really get to see at the end of that first season, like, okay, that one's really going to be the mother, because these buds are the strongest from this batch.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like the idea of just testing out some seasons, just running singles and just go full green crack run.
Yeah, I'm down to do that for sure.
And then the following, it could just. Because then even in that full green crack mother, we could just throw an auto plant in there just to get some little satisfactory for us in the little. Because I'm sure we still have some auto seeds lying around. Just throw one of those.
We're all out right now.
Oh, that is true. That's why we didn't throw any on that hillside.
No, we didn't do anything this season with it. But I mean, yeah, I think we got a strong product coming for sure.
I'm very pleased and very excited on what's to come.